Anderson College is one of Canada's oldest colleges, having opened its first location in 1885. Anderson has trained over 150,000 students during its over 140 years of history and continues to be an empowering partner for those who are experiencing career challenges and transitioning to the next phase of their lives. With multiple locations in Ontario, we are recognized for our high-caliber faculty, our hands-on, real-life career training, and supportive culture. Anderson College offers programs under healthcare, business, and technology. Have a great start to your career with job-ready training at Anderson College.
We're all seated together, but we try to practice everything that would be reflected in the real world out there. The chairs are definitely the same. I have them in my clinic that I actually work in. The instruments we use here is what you would experience out in the real world. Sterilizing, the same thing. Here we have our chair, our lights. Assisting chairs are definitely different from the operator's chair. We're demonstrating how a root canal is done. They also have to be a part of just regular restorative procedure, which is if you have a broken tooth or you have a cavity, we have to fix it. There's also cleanings, which is polishing of the crowns of the teeth. They were able to work in a pediatric dental office. They would be able to work on kids in just cleaning their teeth. We call it coronal polishing, so that they learn here. They are also a part of extractions. Everything they read and they practice here will be on their national board exam. You have to go through the procedure the way it is in the book. And that's the reason why when we're in class, I review what we did the day prior to. Because I always say it takes 19 days for things to become a habit. At the end, when they have practiced enough on Fletcher and DXTTR and each other, then they do bring clients in. It is 50-50. Prevention and oral care are half and half, and pre-patient and patient care is all clinical. I want to push them, and I want them to learn, and I want them to be passionate about what they're learning.
It makes me feel very excited for my future. I feel like things finally became real for me, and finally I can start a nice career.
Since I'm a newcomer, about 2 years, I wasn't this confident with talking to people or introducing myself or having new relationships and getting to know everyone. But here is just everyone felt so welcoming and just new friends, great instructor. So it was amazing on all levels.
We are accredited lab, so we always try to keep our equipments and our program in terms of skills and training, at the top. It's the real world when they do any medical tasks here. We go step by step, basically showing them the lab or the equipment, what it should be, what it shouldn't, their appearance, their behavior to be professionals. The main area in our lab is the phlebotomy need. We do so many techniques in terms of blood draw, like we do the vein puncture. We do capillaries, we do butterfly. Also, side by side, we have 3 ECG machines in our sites. And all students, they have to, to pass the ECG and be fully confident in how to run the machine, how to record the results, how do they be able to recognize if there is some artifacts or some mistakes or something went wrong through the whole process. We have a station for microbiology. We do so many microbiology tests, and but basically it's a preparation for microbiology. They can practice so many skills and techniques in terms of preparing slides from the smears, direct smears, wet smears, staining, using different kinds of stains for each task. Like the stain is different, like when we do tissue, that's something different. We have also, we do a bunch of urinalysis tests here. We have manual urinalysis test, and we have the automated urine test. So we have all the equipments they need to be professional in a medical lab. So in Anderson College, we provide like 8 weeks of practical, you can say practical training in a real workplace. They're gonna be in touch, they're gonna be involved, they're gonna be participate in all the tasks and the practice they need to be medical lab technicians. The student always so excited and so motivated to be in the lab. They like being in the lab, and I can see that and I can feel that.
I remember my first needle work, my first blood work, and my instructor was holding my hand and she said, "You can do this." And I have never looked back after that. You just need to take the first step towards Anderson, and Anderson takes you from there.
I absolutely love teaching, and I love teaching specifically adult learners. I like breaking down concepts and teaching them things that are really relatable and mean a lot to them. I try and make classes as engaging as possible. I try and bring a lot of my experience to the classroom. We share lots of stories, but not only my stories, the stories that the students have as well. I love the fact that this course is hybrid, but it's not hybrid in the sense that, you know, you feel like you're stuck at home behind a computer. Like, we actually really get to know each other online, and by the time we reach the classroom, everybody feels like they know each other already. The course starts out with 15 weeks of theory. Now, this theory comprises of palliative care, the fundamentals of care for a person in the home in terms of feeding, bathing, infection control, chronic diseases, and then after that 15 weeks, we bring everybody into the lab for 3 weeks of hands-on experience. At Anderson College, we actually have quite a vast array of different types of equipment. We have beds that we're using, we have Hoyer lifts, walkers, medications, feeding equipment, everything that they would need in order to learn the skills to be job ready.
I chose Anderson College because I loved the communication with the counselors, the coordinators, and I heard about Marcy, my teacher. She's absolutely perfect in my eyes, and she's been the best teacher I've ever had. Before, I was very down on myself. I graduated high school at 23. I went back, and it's made me feel powerful. Go for it, do it. You can do anything. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter about age, nothing. Like, you can do this, just like I'm achieving it.
One of the things that we'll do at the beginning in the Anderson program is quite unique in this, is we talk to our adult audience as individuals and say, what brought you into the program specifically, and where do you think you want to go with this program? And that opens the doors for one-on-one conversations with each adult learner and puts us in a position to customize what they need. One of the things I do in the program is I emphasize a lot of soft skills. The hireable skills. The technical skills, everybody expects. What we hire for are the soft skills. 90 to 95% of my students either start their own careers or end up in the business of their choice. We start with, what are your personal goals? What are your professional goals? Tell us a little bit about your past. Tell us where you think you want to go next. And by starting this way, we find in the virtual world, people get more comfortable talking and sharing. Unlike many other private colleges, Anderson uses the latest in technology in a learning management platform. They use D2L, okay? It is by far one of the most adaptable and one of the most current, and it's very user-friendly. The great thing about D2L is you can go back and listen to it 2 or 3 times after the class is over until you fully understand it. You can also communicate with your professor by asking a question online. It is a full communication package. Many people have come through this program and started here to reinvent themselves and ended up going on to a university or going on to an additional step. And these become really important. And that's the key to what Anderson does.
I'm so ready to be out there and working in the field.
Inclusive.
Interesting.
Anderson's just amazing. Amazing people.
Awesome, outstanding. Opportunities.
Fast-paced.
If I have made Anderson College my career choice, when will you?